Fear is a very important thing in boxing. Fear is like fire. If you let it get out of control, it will destroy you and everything around you. You manage to control it, you can make it work for you.
You have to understand this. Boxing's like this game of life.
So now the moment of truth is not far off.
You know, life is about coming back.
And now Tyson moves in for the kill.
If I may be permitted to say so, not being egotistical and stuff, but I'm hard to beat in this game.
It's all over.
You know, I'm just a fighter.
It's rare that you meet someone who doesn't know who Mike Tyson is. And while the world knows him as a hard-hitting heavyweight, these days he's showing us his lighter side. I'm here in New York City where it all began. Today, we delve into the mind, life, and legacy of Iron Mike Tyson. Let's go. As I evolved from a rapper to a podcaster, I've interviewed hundreds of interesting artists, tastemakers, and figures within the music industry. The more knowledge I gained, the more I was eager to learn. My interests have grown far beyond the music industry these days. And there are endless amounts of unique people in the world with extraordinary stories to tell and knowledge that only they can share. This is Humans.
This is funny. All right.
What's up, Joe?
Oh, Mike, good to see you, man.
What's happening?
How you doing?
I'm good.
Good, good. How's it feel being in here?
It's just, it's what I always dreamt of. Being with these guys, the legends, being involved with them. When you see them, you see me. Yeah, I always wanted that as a kid.
You were walking down the stairs, just stopping at the pictures.
Yeah.
Naming the people.
It just, this is what I did my whole life as a kid. I studied all the greats from the beginning of time to now. So, just study them all.
But at some point, you made a conscious effort to get the fuck away from all this shit.
Yeah, because this will drive you crazy, because all this is ego stuff, you know? Then you start thinking, oh, I wish I did this at that fight, and you start, questioning yourself. This is, people take things too serious that God made to be fun, We just take it too serious. And sometimes when we get in our head and we see ourselves, we take it too serious. This is like an illusion now.
Is all of sports ego?
It depends on the individual. Some people like the team spirit, it's all about us, and some people say, I am God, and this is about me.
But can you be great in a sport without the ego? Like, I don't know if I could be a great rapper without ego.
I think the ego's necessary.
Okay.
Ego's necessary, but you control the ego, don't allow the ego to control you.
Your first street fight you're how old?
I don't know, probably 10.
10 years old. So
I remember because back then I had the bicentennial court. Remember that one, 1776 to 1976. So I was 10, yeah.
But at 10 years old, you can't be intimidating.
No way. I was a little chubby kid and stuff. Everybody used to kick my ass and stuff, take my money.
Right. But your first fight?
Yeah, over a pigeon.
Yeah, you told me this before.
Over a pigeon, yeah.
Tell me again.
I had stole some money from some local people that they didn't know I stole, and so I bought some pigeons. And so I hid these pigeons in an abandoned building because I didn't want people to know, because they normally steal things from me. And so somebody found out where my birds was, and they brought the whole neighborhood. Because they knew I was a guy that you could do something to and nothing happened. And they came in the room to get my birds, and my mother came up and was like, hey, what's going on up there? Because believe me or not, we lived in that condemned abandoned building. And then one guy had took my bird and he had it under his shirt and he started running. And he left, and he got out the building and started running. And I ran after him. I said, please give me my bird back. And he said, you fat nigga, you want this fucking bird back? Come get it, nigga. And he ripped the bird head off and he hit me with the bird and shit.
Oh.
But then one of those guys that were picking on me, bullying me too, he felt so sad for me and said, you better fight him now. And I fought. That was the first time I fought over a bird.
And you won?
Yeah, I won. And when I hit him, I didn't know, because I used to see my friends box, because they know how to fight, I didn't know how to fight. And I remember when I hit him and he blocked and he slipped, I remember I started slipping, skipping, and everybody started clapping, going crazy, and I've been fighting ever since.
So you never really learned how to fight?
No, I just fought every day.
I'm gonna stand over here in the corner and see how I feel looking at you.
I'm gonna be in there, I'm gonna be right
Let me
here,
see.
I'm gonna be ready for you and shit.
No.
Talking
Hey,
to my guy, getting ready.
Did you used to do all that? No. You used to be, hey, don't come close. I don't know, I think before a fight, if I got in the corner, I would be trying to reserve my energy. I wouldn't be trying to move too much back here.
Some fighters are like that, but some people just they live on that high.
Adrenaline.
Yeah.
A rush.
Big time. Nothing like it. The big, most powerful drug in the world, adrenaline. As soon as they ring the bell, you may die 30 seconds of a heart attack. You know, some of this stuff, you don't control your emotions and your feelings, you can really have a panic attack in here.
With no action, just from...
Nothing. See, pressure is not being hit. Pressure is the thought of being hit. And this, the thought of being hit makes them submit more actually than being hit. Your mind plays games with you in here.
How can CTE be such a prevalent issue in football and not boxing? Is it in boxing as well?
Listen, I'm just telling you the truth. Football is the most dangerous sport in the world.
More than boxing,
if you don't think so, you get close to one of those guys and hear them when they crash within each other. It's some scary stuff. Some guys don't get up. I don't know. Boxing is pretty strange because the guy keeps getting hit in the head and it's just there, but it's a lot in boxing.
Like a brain rattling.
Aneurysms what kill you. When the aneurysm bust in your brain, is boom, it's over.
Yeah, okay.
Normally, they receive the aneurysm from another accident, maybe a car accident or something, and they go into the fight hurt. And normally that's the cause of death in the ring. And they shorten the rounds too because they estimated most of the fights that people died in went past the 13th round. So that's why they took
That's how they got from
15 to 12.
Got it. So take me back to the Dapper Dan era. Let's start back there. Give me the temperature in the streets.
Okay, 1986, 87. My experience with Dapper Dan, I seen some friends that I knew from my old neighborhood. I was champ of the world, but I seen some friends I knew from my old neighborhood with some the stuff that we wear now, the Gucci stuff and Louis, you know, it's all that beautiful stuff, you know? It's Bally and all that stuff. And I go up there sometimes, and I'm going up there. When I pull up there, I'm 20, I'm pulling up in a Rolls Royce, convertible, I'm up there chilling. And that's when I started meeting some of the Harlem guys. I used to meet these guys, I knew them before because I used to be locked up with them in reformatory. So you meet these guys from different parts of the city. Dapper Dan was the place. You would see any rapper, any hustler up there at any time of the day, 4 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. They just up there, it was packed, making orders for clothes, measurements, it was just packed. All the gangsters from all over the country. Philly,
Yeah, I
New
want to
York,
hear
all
about
of them.
the gangster meetup, that aspect of the boxing culture, right? Like where all of the dope boys come, we got cars, money, women.
I was happy to meet him. He's a cool brother too. You ever met him?
Yeah.
Oh, cool
Hell
brother.
yeah. Yeah, shout out to Dap. Are the rumors about the fight outside true with whoever the boxing dude was?
Well, it depends on which story you're talking about.
See, Mike Tyson's a fighter. Mike Tyson loves to fight.
Where you knock some nigga out in front of Dapper Dan that was a
He was
boxer.
I fought this guy before, but he came high. He was on some anger, so he came high in Dapper talking greedy to
But
me.
after y'all had fought, all right?
Yeah.
Got it.
You remember Mitch Green, don't you? Got in a fight with him in a store late night over 11th Road.
He was getting high, robbing people, extorting people, so he came in there at 4 in the morning, and he's high, so he came in there and he started talking real greedy to me. And we got outside somewhere, and then we started fighting. And
you won?
Kind of, yeah. He was in bad condition.
Rich was on the news for 2 weeks telling the same lie.
He hit me, and I didn't see his punch coming. And he did not knock me down or nothing.
Did you see his eye? His eye was just hanging out his head.
He broke his hand on me. The bad hand.
I had no other choice but to defend myself.
I'm sorry, that's just that's who I am.
I would look at the wall, though. I'm sure there's people that you have put down up here somewhere.
Yes, they are. And there's people up here that put me down as well, I'm sure.
How many times you went down?
5, 6, I don't know.
That's not a lot.
No. Depends what you think a lot is. Somebody might think one is too much. Yeah.
One might be a lot.
You're right, you have to say right.
One might be too much.
Too
It's just nostalgic.
These are the guys that I looked up to inspire me to be who I am today. That's why I look at this shit. I look at now, my ego's starting to shit. I said, wow, this guy inspired me. I don't look like much, you know? And I gotta say, fuck, this is the guy I looked up to become who I am. Okay, how big, and no matter how much money you got, but they're still my heroes. And most of those guys really died broke and all fucked up, you know? Just if I was born at the right time where, you know, you could always get a break, even if you did fuck up.
Well, what year did pay-per-view take off?
In the 80s. Yeah, they did it a couple times in the 70s, but it didn't pick up to the 80s, and I came on the scene.
Yeah. I just came back from Vegas, the Tank fight, Tank and Ryan. So being in here gives me a different appreciation for what these guys have to go through to get in there.
And they do it every day.
Yeah.
Every day, spar every day. I did spar every day.
All right, so you do it enough and you get pretty good. But how does somebody look at you that small and tiny and want to invest?
Listen, I was like 160 pounds at 10 years old, but I was just a chubby kid.
Oh, that's not so tiny.
No, I was a big kid. But, you know, people would take advantage of me. These are older kids. You know, these ain't kids my age picking on. These are older kids, teenagers. I was a streetwise. I didn't have a father. The two of me said, fight back. I learned from the streets, yeah.
What do you think, Custody Model? So what do you think people were able to see in you at that time?
Well, listen, at that time when he first met me, I was a really bad apple. I've been arrested over 30 times back then. I was just incorrigible. I was unable to be a citizen of society. My whole lifestyle, my whole perspective in life was criminal.
But that's from what age to what age?
Since I existed.
Because that's just acting out.
Yeah, but that's just what, listen, if you didn't do that, you weren't from my neighborhood. Everyone did that. Everybody was robbing somebody. Everybody was always locked up. Everybody was always getting shot or cut or almost died or getting crippled.
Okay, so this is just law of the land.
Yeah, it was exactly. No cops to protect you. Yes, if somebody like you, he'll protect you. If you rob for him and steal, he'll protect you. He'll look out for you.
How heavily patrolled were the streets back then with police?
Listen, the cops, they were brutal back then. Cops were brutal back then. People were being shot by cops.
Yeah,
I remember that happening.
Okay.
My mother's friend been shot. You know, my mother was in the game. You know, my father was a pimp. My mother was out there. And it was just, that was my life. That's just what I was accustomed to.
So now your mother passes when you are, what, 16 years old? And you're already acting out?
No, I'm already probably national and world amateur champion by then.
From 14 to 16? Well, how did that happen?
I beat everybody in the world.
But how do you go from the kid that got the pigeon thrown at him?
Okay, so ever since that happened, I would fight every day, probably 2 times a day. I would just fight. Sometimes we would fight for money. Yeah, you want to fight again? Put this on. This nigga will beat this nigga. So some of the guys would put money on each other and we would fight people.
And how do you go from that?
You know, I kept fighting people. I went to some institutions. I was fighting in there, street fighting, hitting people, trying to stab them. and then I got shipped to another institution. At first, it was an institution where you could really walk around the complex and stuff, and cops didn't have to have guns around you. And
Minimum security.
Yeah, and then I got in trouble in there, and then they put me in the maximum security, but on the same complex. But when you walk, you have to walk with security, with guns, you know, it was just crazy. And so there was somebody there that used to be a boxer. His name was Irish Bobby Stewart. He was a professional boxer, and he started teaching me how to box. Once I started getting my diploma from school and stopped fighting in the complex, he started teaching me how to fight. And on one occasion, a couple of months after he taught me, I accidentally broke his nose. And I was mad, thinking that he didn't want to work with me no more. He was mad because his wife said, I don't want you boxing him no more. So he took me to this other, which would be my mentor, named Customato. He just took me totally to another different level.
Irish Bobby took you straight to Cuss.
Absolutely.
And what was the conversation like then?
Well, they watched us box. And Cuss said to Bobby after we boxed, you know, because I was fighting real good. Bobby beat me around because he's 28 and I'm 14. And my nose is bleeding, but I'm fighting, I keep fighting. And they said, stop. I said, no, I want to do another round. He said, no, I said, stop. And then they're talking. He said, you sure he's 13? And Bobby said, yeah, he's 13. And he said, no, most of those kids, they're older, but they say they're younger, so they don't want to go to the big prison. He said, So he came to me and said, listen, you just tell me the truth. How old are you, 13? And I said, you have my identification, you have my birth certificate. I look at it, I'm only 13. But at 13, I was 200 pounds.
Well, and it's probably...
I've been in the institution for a while, so I started lifting weights, and I was already heavy, so I started. At 12 years old, I'm 200 pounds.
He thought you faked the paperwork.
Yeah. And I'm fighting people, I'm knocking people out. 200 pounds, grown people, staff members.
All right, so clearly they saw something in you early.
He said I would be the youngest heavyweight champion. He thought he had said this.
He said it.
He said it. He said, I never saw anyone like him.
If he does everything that he's capable of doing, I tell you, he may go down as one of the greatest fighters of all time.
And then Customato passes in 80.
I turned pro 85, yeah, probably 85.
How does that feel? Like the guy that spots the talent and the guy that mentors you is kind of not there to guide. Because now at this point, you're amateur champion boxer of the world. Your mom is gone. Cuss is gone. Who's around?
Let me just make this statement. Everyone you start with, you don't finish with.
Everybody can't go.
And some people who you think your friend is not your friend. Everybody you fight is not your enemy, and everybody that helps you is not your friend. So I realized that we have to navigate this from personal perspective, you know, and myself.
How many times did you fight injured?
A couple of times, but that's part of fighting.
You had a lot of short fights, though.
Well, God was, you know,
I was
lucky.
my uncles, reps surrounded by the TV, a lot of short fights. A lot of people.
I wanted the world to know my name.
It worked.
Yeah.
It worked. Who was the hot boxer when you got on the scene?
Sugar Ray Leonard.
Sugar Ray in the 80s.
He made it possible for us to get that big money, because they were little guys making big money, making 15, 18, the little guys, 147 pounds. Nobody did that. Him and Duran, people don't make money like that. They're small anymore. You know, it just doesn't happen. Terrence Crawford's the best fighter in the world. He can't draw 5,000 tickets. You know what I mean? You got Ryan Garcia. He's a video guy. He brings the whole arena.
I saw
the whole
Oscar.
arena comes to see.
I saw Oscar tweet that.
Yeah.
And I thought that was interesting to be able to tweet after a loss. This guy is the prize guy because he got 1 million pay-per-views.
Listen, and these, what do we call these guys again? Video guys, whatever they are. TikTok guys. These guys are making money and bringing money to boxing. I wonder how much money the whole gate produced from the fight. Net worth and everything, before anyone got paid.
I know tickets when I was out there, they were asking me if I wanted something for 10 grand a pop. And I was like, I'll wait.
They gave it to us, but we would have bought them anyway. Cause it's the biggest thing since Oscar and all those guys. Floyd Mayweather, I mean, biggest thing.
I'll wait till he fights Shakur.
That's good. Phew,
I'll wait till he fights Shakur.
God damn.
I'll pay for that one.
Woo, shit.
Yeah, but I think he's supposed to fight Haney first. Boxing's got some guys in there now.
They're gonna break some records, those lightweights, and then they're gonna move up again. Some nice middleweights. So they gotta start fighting. They're all so great, and that division's so great, they gotta go up to 140 pounds now, you know? Because they're dominating that division.
Who gets the bulk of the gate?
Depends on how you made the
Promoters.
deal. Depends on how the deal is made. Maybe you and him are gonna share that.
As a fighter?
It can be. It depends on who makes the deal.
Got it. Oh yeah, some good money in boxing now.
It is.
Yeah.
How you get a guy that, my mother may be a prostitute, father might be a pimp, life has always been bad, you know, your father's in jail, your mother's on welfare, you can't go to school because people pick on you and bully you, and so what are you gonna do? You're gonna go to boxing or crime.
Normally we rap.
Yeah, you go to boxing, crime, or rap.
Yeah.
That's what you go to sports,
That's it.
crime, or rap. And that's what kind of environment some of us come from. We don't even know how to interact with people that's, you know, come from different parts of the world.
Is boxing predatory?
Has to be. Because I feel, yeah, it's just ego. I think it's ego. I just always wanted to be the meanest guy and nobody better say nothing about you. You better turn your fucking head. And I just, I had an alter ego when it came to fighting.
I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me.
But who's there to check it outside the ring?
Excuse me?
Who's there to check that alter ego outside the ring?
Well, sometimes he doesn't get checked. They have to deal with circumstances for people that don't get checked when they're supposed to.
That's powerful.
That's real.
Which is normally the institutions and the jails.
You know, human beings are not made to be humble. They're made to be humbled. Look at us. We think, who the hell we think we are? We got Grammys, we got belts, we got medals, we got mansions. Who the hell do we think we are? Do we take ourselves too serious? God made all this to be fun, but we take it too serious.
What is this for?
Punching. Yeah.
Seems easy enough.
It doesn't punch back. You know.
Want to tell me about this one here?
Oh, I'm in Russia somewhere. It's in 1988 and Pele was there. And we was hanging out. God damn. Why would that be? That's crazy.
You have world-class pictures. Me and Pele in Russia just chilling, catching a vibe.
And listen, I got the privilege at a young age to meet all the greats. I met Mr. Walcott as well, as a kid.
How old were you when you met him?
14, 15, something like that.
You were active at 14. I can't imagine it.
I met all the greats. My mentor, you know, he was an ex-great trainer. He introduced me to all the greats. So I could be comfortable around big-time fighters. They won't intimidate me.
Okay, so take me through it. You're amateur champ of the world. You're running through everybody.
Yes. I had managers that had good connection with the press. So they would take my knockouts. I may have 7, 12 knockouts at a time. And they would take it and they would give them to all the news channels. Because we didn't have cable. We had VCR or something. And we give it to all the networks and sports and they see it. And it's like knockout after knockout, then knockout. And so they started bidding for me, CBS. I fought there. Oh, yes, all the records started going out. I was the new savage on the town.
Because what are the boxing channels then?
CBS, ABC, and which one else? ESPN.
That's it. We don't have no HBO, Showtime, none of that shit.
Not at that. Yeah, HBO was around, but it wasn't really that big.
Got it.
It was coming. It was coming.
Okay, so you got a bidding war going on.
Yes. HBO won.
How?
They bid more money.
Even though they weren't as big as the other ones.
HBO was the king, I think.
Oh, okay.
At that time.
Okay.
Then Showtime came.
Okay, so they win the bidding war, and that means what? That they have your rights?
Yeah.
For how many fights?
Probably 4.
But back then, you can fight how many times a year?
I can fight as many as I want. Most of the times I fought 3 times a year.
Really? So that's the normal?
Yeah, for me. Most people fight once a year. But I just knew I could beat anybody, so let's just ante the money up and do it 3 times a year.
I know you're a champion at this point, amateur champion, but at what point does confidence come? Like when do you start to feel like I can beat anybody?
You know,
because from the story I always hear from you is you were afraid in most of the fights.
Yeah, that's why I was the best.
Nature gave us fear in order to survive. And of course, fear is our best friend. Without fear, we would all die. With a fighter who controls his fear can now function in a manner far over and beyond anything he was capable of before.
I look at fear as my friend. I don't look at it as my enemy. I look at it to be able to give me that instinct. If I didn't have it, I'd walk in the front of the street and get ran over by a car, or walk in front of a train, or jump off a building. And those instincts of fear helps me rise to my highest potential. It keeps me sharp, keeps me fast, keeps me alert.
So you can be fearful and confident in your ability.
Well, you could be fearful, but you could be fearful but not intimidated. And may I explain this too? Well, being intimidated is a feeling that prevents you from reaching your highest potential, reaching your best quality in life. You know, and not being intimidated is a person that this guy can kill me, but I'm relaxed enough to fight him and I'm not scared to hit him. That's what not intimidated being.
Got it.
It's like a guy that could blow you out as a rapper, but you're not scared to get back in his face. You know he's better than you.
Oh yeah, for sure. That was me.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But even in rap, right, there was nobody there to help with whatever demons I was going through away from music. Like I always said, there should be some type of therapist or just somebody there to make sure that the off the music stuff is not killing me.
Well, you have to understand, me being this guy, what they call me, baddest man on the planet, that didn't, that comes from being a full-blown alcoholic and junkie. That don't come from being the glamour boy. No, that's just how it works. The greater you are, the more pain you endure.
But in the 80s, nobody's trying to keep that in check.
Everything was too big in the 80s. Everything's small now. People got more money, but in the 80s, everybody spent, you see, everybody's money was on the streets or on numb. In the 80s, black, white, I don't care who you were. Everybody was spending a lot of money in the 80s. Executives, everybody. Yachts, boats, mansions, everything.
What's your favorite fighter?
I like Larry Holmes.
If any.
I like Larry Holmes. I'm gonna tell you why, because I was a young kid. I was 1980, probably 14, and Larry Holmes fought Muhammad Ali, and Larry Holmes kicked his ass. And the next day, because my mentor and Ali was close friends, their birthdays on the same day, either he called Ali, Ali called him, and he was crying, why you let that bum beat on you and this and that? And he said, I have a 14-year-old kid, he's gonna be champion of the world, tell him to stick with me and tell him I'm a good guy. And so I'm talking to him, he said, Cuff is my man, he's gonna make you champ of the world. And I said, I was crying, saying, when I get big, I'm gonna get him for you.
Tyson just looking for the one shot. Huge right hand. That should
He
be it. And down goes Holmes. I'm going to be in. It's over.
said, yeah, right, okay. But he just, his ego was so
I wouldn't
big.
want to hear that shit neither.
Yeah. This is the difference between a headshot and a body shot. I don't care if you're the baddest motherfucker on the planet. If you're not looking, you get caught, you can boom, you hit in the chin, you get knocked out, you didn't see the punch. So maybe you could beat that guy, but you just didn't see the punch in this particular fight. But when you get in the body, boom, you decide whether you want to go down or get up or not. When you get hit, boom, you decide. You can, but you know it's going to be hell, but you decide if you're going to get up or not. Some people do, some people don't, most don't. Most don't. Small percentage to get up from those shots.
You gotta train for that, huh?
Yeah.
How do you train against that? This hurt when I got a tattoo.
Allowed it to happen a couple of times in boxing.
Oh, shit.
Hey, this is what we do for a living. It's called the hurt business. This is what we do.
What's your least favorite fight?
Shit. I don't have too many bad fights unless I lost them, but I don't have many fights that I said, well, I lost that because I did this or that. I lost because I didn't have interest or something. Or I didn't, I underestimated somebody.
We all refer back to the Buster Douglas fight, but you don't view that as your worst fight at all.
That's one of my best. Look at that,
Yeah,
one of my best.
Yeah, I heard you talk about that
Because
before.
I took some fucking shots. You know, and I said, wow, nobody would have took them shots. It was just a bang.
But you took those shots from lack of preparation on your side, or was he just so?
No, he fought a great fight that night. Fought a great fight. You know what's so ironic that he won? Because everybody that beat him, I knocked out.
Oh, the uppercut. What an uppercut by Douglas, and down goes Tyson. I would be willing to say it's the greatest upset in boxing history.
That's the referee. He's my referee for a bunch of my fights.
Which one?
Man on Hand in the Ring.
It looks illegal going out with the referee.
It was, because if I'm having a tough fight and I rock the guy, he stop it quick.
Really?
Oh, it's in the business, man. That's what we do. That's my brother. He saw me. Listen, he saw me my first fight. Now he's refereeing my fight. He favors me than the other guy. He's seen me as a kid come up.
Do the refs travel up the ranks along with the fighters?
Yes.
Yeah.
They get the opportunity to work bigger fights. You have to understand this. Boxing's like this game of life. I got beaten by Buster, right? I suppose I let that discourage me. Suppose I said, wow, he beat me, I ain't shit. I'm a bum, I'm not gonna beat him, I'm so stupid. Imagine if I did that, that's nothing, I'd be champ in 6 months. Imagine if I said, not that, man, maybe I should give it up. He kicked me in the ass, he knocked me out. Maybe I don't got the heart for this no more. I would never do that. Listen, you think the great Mike Tyson would let something small like that discourage him? Getting beaten? You know, life is about coming back. And what happened? I came back, won championships 2 times already. You know, the greatest, you know, it's just, if I may be permitted to say so, not being egotistical and stuff, I'm formidable, I'm hard to beat in this game. As far as just my spirit of just connection with the world, you know, it was meant for me to be the most popular person in the world. I don't care who somebody beat me. I don't care about that. I just got the Goliath syndrome, you know. Even when I get beaten, it just trembles through the world, and everybody hears about it, and they always say, "Where was I at that moment?" You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
That's just what it is. Nobody ever thought Goliath could be beaten.
Well, how true were the stories of you just not training at all for that?
Yeah, listen, that's true too, but even then, I wasn't training, I was still knocking them out. So I thought I could do it with this guy. If I did it with better fighters than him, I thought you could do it to him. You know, I was just a young kid. Well, I lost my title at 23, I was just a child.
Yeah, but I feel like you were such a money machine. Why do I think that there should have been someone there to say, hey, what's up? What we doing?
Well, you know, you don't really know my personality. You know, it's very difficult to get me on the right path if I don't want to be in that path. If I'm in my world, my ego is working and stuff, I don't want to hear that shit. I'll get on a plane and leave you, go to Rome.
Sparring every day, working out, eating different, no sex.
Well, you know, that theory don't really believe, but when I'm young, I believe that too, but that's just, what do you believe? You know.
What was the thought behind that? It was
They thought
stronger,
made you
right?
weak. Some guys need sex to make them better. They fight better after having sex. It's all psychological.
But then I don't see a spot in here for a psychological coach.
No, they just don't have they don't have the diploma for it, but they are.
Got it. Any part of you feel like we generate too much money as entertainers for any of us to die broke?
Well, listen, I was taught this as a kid. The distance from the Rolls Royce and the gut is just one step. You know, there's more people lose billions of dollars every week than we probably know. How many people lose their billionaire status a day or a month? They're human beings. We make mistakes. We become victims of the same society, somebody who we think is beneath us.
Yeah.
How old are you?
42.
Are you?
1980.
Yes, I'm 42. You 1980?
Yeah.
I'm 66. I'm 14 years older than you. But now you wouldn't remember. I can go into a Bugatti store, right? In 84, 85, 86, when I was making money, so I go in there and say, hey, how much that car cost? $2 million. Okay, I'm coming back. Boom, I give him $2 million. Boom, in cash. And it's legal.
In 86.
Yeah.
King of the castle.
No, Cash was king. I was the king of the castle. The Cash was king. Everybody, all the billionaires started, Trump was blowing up, everybody had money. And before you could launder like a motherfucker till 84 came around. 87, 86, yeah. I used to do it all the time for my friends. They give me some money, I buy a car for them. They give me more money than the car cost, and I would buy them the car.
Wait, you can't do that today?
No, you try it.
I won't.
Oh, you try? No, serious. That would be one of the worst mistakes in your life. You don't want to deal with that, right? Does he want to deal with that?
I'm gonna take your word for it.
No, stay away from that shit, nigga. I had some friends that got twisted. I did one right before the law came in existence, and they, where did you get money to buy a $70,000 car?
Oh yeah, paper trail watching you. Got
That's
it.
when they started, like 87, 89. Because everybody was making too much money back then. All those hustlers, they made money overnight, hand and fist. It was a joke. They would make it, blow it, make it back.
So how many times have you filed for bankruptcy?
Once.
Only once?
Yeah.
Only needed to do it once.
No, I thought more people do it more than once, 3, 4, 5 times. I've been rich and broke more than anybody I know. You know, anybody who's a real winner out here that wants to be. You know, if I could get wealthy once, I could do it again.
That's true.
And again, and again. And like I said, I've been rich and broke more than anybody. I've made fortunes and lost it, made them and lost and made them and lost and made them and lost them. But I always got them back, but I lost them too. I always lost them too.
That's why you have a very unique way of looking at money and currency. Like I very rarely speak to people who share your ideologies when it comes to it and really mean it.
Well, listen, you know what money really is to me? Mike Tyson. Money is a false sense of security. Some people may think, I got the motherfucking $1 billion, I can't even die. You know? And it takes one mosquito bite or one bad night with a wrong lover, just one shot with a bullet, and it's over. It's over before a flash in the eye. It's just life is this.
False sense of security. Nothing about it could be a
You feel
real.
invincible with money.
Okay.
You feel like you can't even die.
Well, your level of money.
Well,
That
listen.
money, that level. You're talking $100 million.
Yeah, listen, I always tell people this. You know, my daughter and my kids, they laugh at me because they're in a position because they're working on becoming professional athletes. And I always tell people, if you think a lot of money is going to make you happy, you never had a lot of money. The purpose of the money for me is to enjoy it with people and be happy. No one's going to be happy spending all the money on themselves. You know, I mean, love is helping other people, buying somebody else the Bugatti and Rolls Royce. That's how I show my love.
By giving. Yeah,
Giving to people who don't have, who's not used to having. Not somebody who could buy one. I'm not gonna give a Bugatti to somebody that could buy one. What's that? He's not even gonna even take it. You know, he's not gonna even take the car. Give it to somebody that wants it. That'll make them feel better than what they feel now. That's what it's all about.
I agree.
Want to feel like I'm somebody too. That's who most of it. That's who I am. That's who I was. I was a nobody that wanted to be a somebody. That's who we are when we come out in this world. You don't want your money in a bank. You're a young kid. You want to show your money off. You want to look good, have a nice car because you've been destitute all your life. So what? I'm gonna learn how to save money now. When all my life I've been broke, I'm gonna abuse it.
Well, how do you learn not to do that though?
Well, that's an art.
Gotta live.
No, that's an art. Only, you know, like I was explaining earlier, there's billionaires that lose their money all the time. It takes an art to handle money. You know, it takes a legal mind. It's not easy. You have to. That's just a really particular art. Not many people are good with it. Billionaires, billionaires. Not a lot of them are good. That's why most of them lose it. It's just common. You'd be surprised how many people go broke in this country.
Shit, no, I wouldn't.
I'm talking about the biggies that you know.
Oh, the big ones, the big boys, the big
yeah.
boys, the big boys. Do you think there's a concentrated effort right now to lower our currency?
We got too much of it.
So we're in debt.
It doesn't look like it, does it? And you see everybody in their new Rolls Royce and their Ferraris and their Bugatti. Does it look like our country's in debt? Have you been in California lately?
No.
No, we're not in debt. doesn't look like in debt.
I've been in New York. Everybody ain't in a Rolls Royce over here.
Oh, shit, man. We got too much money. Spending too much money.
So you think they would never let that happen to us anyway?
What's that?
What for us to really be in debt and for our dollar and our currency to just be stepped on?
I just think most younger entrepreneurs that from Black, Latinos, Native Americans, we're all becoming more enterprising now. I thought I never would be that way. I never thought I would have this big cannabis company. I never thought I'd be doing this sporting company. I just never thought about that stuff because I wanted the necessities what I never had. The best house, the best car, the best woman, the best clothes. I never had that. But once I had it, I didn't want it anymore.
So the biggest teacher for Mike Tyson has been what? Because you've been through it all.
Keep what you think to yourself.
I'm a podcaster, I can't do that.
Well, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the other shit.
Yeah.
The real shit. Tell me about the marriage you think between sports and marijuana.
I think, I'm thinking by the fighters or the athletes not using marijuana, in my opinion, I think they lose reaching their highest potential. It's just my opinion.
And you felt like that since when?
Since the first time I smoked and fought.
Which was when?
I don't know what year it was, 2000 maybe. Andrew Galata.
Making his way to the ring, Iron Mike Tyson.
I was a little nervous. I wasn't really training that good, but I was a little nervous. This big motherfucker, he got those bumps on his back like he been doing steroids or something. And he had beat up Riddick Bowe real bad. Hurt his brain, he really beat the shit out of him, hit him low all the time. And then we grew up together, we went to school together, so I said, I'm gonna get this motherfucker.
Okay, gentlemen, let's do it right. Touch them up. May the best man win.
Garza looking to take charge from the outset. Here we go. Galata looks a little soft in the belly, too, Steve.
And when we fought, I was high. I broke his cheekbone, his jaw, his rib, his shoulder. But nigga, I never fought high before. I should have been did this shit when I was fighting this guy.
What are you doing? You fucking do this. You're going to disgrace yourself.
He has quit in the middle of the ring. He's all his shit, cheekbone, his eye socket was crushed. It's fucked. It's big. I never did anything like that to somebody before.
So it didn't alter your ability?
No, it made me better, I believe. I don't know, I think weed is an enhancer. That's what I believe. I got fined $300,000 because they found weed in the system.
Really?
$300,000, can you imagine that? These other guys get fined $1,500 to $2,500.
What are the rules now as far as boxing and drug usage?
I have no idea, but I think it's still not permitted for you to smoke in boxing. Basketball and football, I believe you can.
They're changing it now, yeah.
Okay. And I'm happy to be a part of that.
From heavyweight boxer to cannabis contender, Mike Tyson is busy these days.
You know, I'm just one person in something that millions of people are trying to get established. I'm just glad to be in the club.
Well, it seemed like today they're working on having a better relationship between athletes and
they can't win. It's gonna crush everybody. So they have to give into it. That's just the reality of it.
But if they didn't, well, yeah.
It just won't work. It's gonna crush them. They're gonna always have athletes using marijuana. They're gonna make the industry look bad. So why don't we just, I won't say that, why don't we just cooperate? I won't say give in. Why don't we just cooperate? Now, why basketball and football players can do it? It's why. Why is it cool for them to do it? Because you can't stop them from doing it. And if you stop them, you gotta keep finding them. If you keep finding them, they can't fucking play. How do I come from being this guy, fighter and all this stuff, bankrupt, no money.
That's where I was going, yeah.
And all that stuff, and now I'm king of the weed world. No, serious. I can't go nowhere. Just like I was the champ, everybody, hey champ, sign this. And one of my friends said this, wow, this is like when you was champ, boxing champ, Mike, and it is. You know, I go to Smoke Fest.
Mike Tyson, he has walked towards our camera twice today. I did not expect Mike Tyson and marijuana on my bingo card today, I got to admit. But Mike Tyson partaking in the obligatory marijuana usage here at 420 Fest.
Sometimes 60,000 people. You know, everybody's getting high. And I'm just glad to be a part of that.
Yeah, but see, when it comes to that, you're kind of perfect, I would think, because you symbolize like serenity. Like you symbolize.
Not only that, I symbolize somebody that learned through example. I used to be on Prozac, sold off all those pills that made me stand and all that shit. Listen, cause I stopped doing weed for 12 years, right? From 1984 to probably 1998, I haven't smoked weed because I lost in the Olympic trials and I couldn't win the Olympic title. But in my mind, I thought it was the weed that did it. So I forgot the weed. And so I stopped weed and I only drank. And my life was hell.
That sounds like
And when I had that first fight with weed, I said, wow, I should have did that. I should have just never stopped smoking. I should have just never stopped.
What were the conversations?
But then again, right, I still started smoking weed, but I had a fake dick. I used to have piss in there and I kept it warm. And I used to get the drug test and I'd take the fake dick out. And I used to always say, because it looked real, but I didn't want to look. I said, hey, you want to see it, man? What the fuck, man? I'm talking like, give me the fucking thing. And then I stop, open up in this piss and I clip it back. It's my baby piss. Sometimes it's my wife's piss and sometimes my wife said it. They say, Mr. Tyson, you're pregnant. Mr. Tyson, you're pregnant.
How was the, pause. How was the fake dick attached to you?
Oh, no. It was like a jock strap. And it was here and it had a little container under there where it could hold the piss and keep it warm.
How did it keep it warm?
It had a warm pack, a heat
Get
pack.
out of here.
And you go click, move, and it's the urine comes out and you click it back. Yeah, man, I can't believe this shit, man. What, you looking at my fucking dick, man? Click and you click. Man, don't fuck me looking at my motherfucking dick. And then me getting scared, leave the room, and then I got problems.
It's fine.
That weed
That's
had me
hilarious.
fucked up. The weed had me fucked up. I couldn't stop.
I wonder if that's on Amazon.
What?
The fake dick.
I'm sure it is. I bet my life, but everybody knows the deal now because I blew them all up. Everybody found out about my fake dick. I was ahead of the game back then. I was ahead of the game. Ahead of the fucking game. See, that's my old school. Everything is criminal. That shit came out. Everything was criminal back then, man.
What are the future plans for the weed company?
To really allow people to know that it's really a medicine. It's a powerful medicine that helps many people. And then we should have it. We should make it a superfood. It should be in gas stations. It should be in supermarkets. And it should be where people who needs it are able to get it.
How far away do you think we are from something like that?
Hey, listen, I'm not going to be arrogant, but you can't beat it. It's going to crush us. You can't stop it. This is me right here, too. That's all messed up.
Wait, this is...
Just picture me. I don't know what the fuck happened to it.
That's ill that you can spot that that's you. And there's your people over here. It's your guy right there.
And he's a great fighter, too.
I was in front of the TV for that one. How does it feel being in business with Holyfield today after y'all's storied history?
The waiting is over. The talking is done. The rematch is here. The sense of anticipation as before the first fight is almost palpable. Here we go, fight 2, round 1.
Just think about it. We're the only two fighters still getting paid from a fight 30 years ago. That's never been done.
Yeah.
You know what Mike's doing? Mike's looking to duck and keep his leverage low and come up banging.
Look at the blood streaking down from the outer portions of the right eye.
They don't understand the ego's too involved, you know?
Still?
It's just the way human nature works. It's just hard for people to do that. When you're young like that, you don't understand. It's just complex.
What happened here?
He got bit, I think.
Evander Holyfield, look out, he's pushed right here, above us by Tyson.
He's got bit in the ear.
Oh my goodness, he's got a bloody right ear. Holyfield bit by a dirty Mike Tyson.
All of the media attention and hype that came along with you biting Holyfield's ear, did it help or did it hurt?
Beautiful.
I just want to know, it's just been a pleasure passing through life, being acquainted with you. Okay.
You know, people that don't understand, how do I say this? It's not nefarious, but just the skullduggery of enterprise, so to speak. And he's my business partner now. We have these mic bites.
That's incredible.
And that's what it's about.
So the bite is worth it?
I think so.
You'd bite him again.
It cost me $3 million.
Yeah, but how much did it make you?
Huh?
How much did it make you?
Oh God, I'm still getting paid from it. When I'm doing the autograph, people always pictures biting their ear. Have me do this to their babies. It's just crazy. White people are crazy, right? White people are crazy, motherfucker, man.
We got here Lennox Lewis.
This is just beautiful.
Famous
stuff.
Muhammad Ali.
This guy died in a car accident. He was magnificent. Salvador Sanchez. He was one of our heroes when we were kids.
Mosley.
He was a great fighter as well.
I know, I wish he would have fought Floyd when he was a little younger.
Yeah, I wish that would have been. Yeah, it's lightweight, too.
Well, what are your thoughts on Afterlife?
Afterlife?
Yeah.
Do
you think we become nothing again, like no memory of it, like before we were born, like Neil deGrasse Tyson says, or do you think that that is the beginning, like the true beginning, and this, our time on Earth, doesn't count at all?
No, I just think this is, this time on Earth is just a preparation for the next life.
Got it. Same.
We fucked up, we're gonna make mistakes, but right now, let's see if we're gonna pass this, let's see if we're gonna pass the next test. They'll test you again, it's the same shit, let's see do you pass. And it keeps going over, listen, do you ever feel, you really think that, you really believe in that Adam and Eve stuff?
No.
No, we can't even explain, it's not even time, we made time up, it's eternity.
Yes.
You know? Since the beginning of eternity, when is that? Trillions of years, quadrillions of years. We can't even think of a bigger number.
Word, right? It's the only number we've ever said. Zillions.
This is when our ego get in check, when we know we have to die. The expiration date starts to come around.
But no fear of that.
No. If death is bad, then life is bad too. You think God would want to terrorize us, make life good and death bad? You think, if there's a God, you think God would want to do that? You think he want to make us suffer for no reason? Afraid of death, because we came from death and was turned into life. I don't know, I could be afraid of death, I just don't cling to it, you know? I don't worry about it, I'm not afraid to die.
How much longer does the world get the privilege of having you as a podcaster?
As long as I want.
I don't know if I could be as famous as you.
Huh?
It's a headache. It's a headache.
I'm made for it though. It's made for it, to do this stuff.
I mean, what choice we got, right?
What I ever wanted, all I ever wanted.
Well, you got it. Ladies and gentlemen, the great, iconic, legendary Mike Tyson.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Come on.
I'm overrated.